And we need all the good vibes we can get as we are having, again, Game 4 tonight back at home for the Pacers. But for the rest of us, we hope that your morning is starting off pretty nice. It looks like a beautiful sunset is going to come up eventually for us here. Although, yeah, we're having another cloudy day to start. Good morning to you and glad you're up with us here on 13 Sunrise. I'm Julia, along with Julia and Lindsay.
And we'll remind you that today is Tuesday,
yes.
by 6 o'clock here, because a lot of you we know enjoyed the holiday off, a long weekend probably of parties and celebrations. So you get a little extra day there. That's always nice. And you saw the blue skies and clear conditions out there. That's good and bad news.
Things are going to change a little bit today. We're going to keep these temperatures below average. You know, we got to 72 yesterday. Really not a bad day to enjoy the holiday, but a little bit of a rain chance going to ramp back up today, unfortunately. But that's okay. You know, everyone's going to be back in the office or whatever.
Yeah, and you know, it's just kind of, we've had this string for some reason
of cooler temps.
Weather, and I still can't believe it was such a cool temperature on race day.
Yeah, fourth coolest, only had a high of 63, so that would tie for the fourth coolest on record.
Well,
yeah,
not really a pool day.
No,
it was not. No, and I'll tell you, it is going to be a little warmer than that today, but it's still going to be pretty gloomy at times. In fact, we're already monitoring a few of these stray showers in southeastern Indiana. Spotty shower activity down near Greensburg that extends toward Columbus, but these are essentially sprinkles. I know sprinkles had a big impact on the race last Sunday, but as far as the impact on your roads this morning, perhaps using your windshield wipers at times, that's going to be just about it. We're completely dry around the Indy Metro now as we have fallen to 59 degrees. It is 58 over in Richmond and 61 in Shelbyville. Forecast for today, again, keep the rain gear ready, although I do not believe you're going to have to use that all day. Perhaps a couple times this afternoon. We'll head to 67 for your high. Still looking at some rain opportunities as we get into tomorrow as well. Going to be a pretty similar setup as we all approach the 60s for highs. That's below average across the board, given the average high as of today jumps to 77 here in the city. We're going to talk about the rain timeline as well as the rain chances for the remainder of the work week and the road to the weekend coming up. But at 6:02, I do want to get you out to the roadways this morning as many do head back to work today. And of course, start to ramp up on those construction projects again. We'll take you down to the south side of town. This is going to be the stretch of I-65 at Keystone Avenue. Now, the ramp is now blocked from 65 northbound off at Keystone Avenue. That's going to be blocked from now through the really end of August as they work to do this big expansion project, and they're doing some reworking on this specific junction here on the south side. So keep that in mind. Your alternate route to get to Keystone Avenue is going to continue northbound on that 65 corridor, and then you'll take that north exit off at Raymond Street where you can then re-enter Keystone Avenue. That started back in mid-May, going to go through late August. So again, we'll keep an eye on these road conditions as well as any delays that build approaching that new traffic flow pattern at the South Split, but no major issue at this point. We'll keep you posted, guys.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. Well, right now, Metro Police are working several different shooting investigations.
And they all happened yesterday on Memorial Day. We know one person was killed, 2 others injured in 3 separate cases. This was the scene on around Lake Road near 46 in Allisonville just after 6 o'clock last night. That's on the city's east side, rather. Police confirmed one person was killed and they did detain someone at the scene. And right now we're checking with the police to find out if that person has been taken into custody or released. Officers do say they hate to see this kind of crime happening anywhere, but especially on a busy holiday in a busy community filled with families.
This is upsetting. You know, you can see this is a bustling neighborhood. Beautiful weekend that we're coming off of, beautiful Memorial Day where we should be, remembering the lives that were lost in service to our nation. This isn't something we want to respond to. We don't want to lose one of our neighbors. It's unclear what's going on right now with this particular incident, but that's why we're working hard.
Police do say they believe this was an isolated incident. And then another one just a couple of hours after that one, officers received a call to Indy's south side. They responded to Raymond and Shelby Streets this time. Officers tell us they are working to figure out exactly where the shooting happened. They say the man was awake and breathing when he was taken to the hospital, and investigators say they did find a possible suspect, but that person did not have a weapon at the time. So they brought in a K-9 you can see here to help track down the gun involved. No new information is available.
Well, earlier yesterday, police responded to a person that was shot downtown Indy near Pennsylvania and Maryland. At last check, that victim was in critical condition. Officers tell us they detained a person of interest that police haven't shared what may have led to that shooting.
Well, this morning we're taking a closer look at an expanded effort to feed kids here in Indianapolis. This comes after the state of Indiana decided to opt out of a federal program that would provide food for hungry children during the summer months. In 2024, there were more than 600,000 Indiana children enrolled in what's called the Sun Bucks program. Well, this summer, that program has been axed. Now, the founder of Indy Community Pantry, Deandra Rayner, she said she's stepping up to do her part to feed as many kids as she can this summer. She is offering free breakfast to kids. She fills these community fridges and sets them up all around Indy with free, fresh fruits and veggies and meats and drinks.
My family reached out to me, and it was a single mother. She has 4 boys, and she utilized the program, and so now she's not able to utilize that program, so she has to figure out breakfast, lunch, and dinner for her kids.
So why no Sun Bucks program again? To give you a little more information, this recent statement from the Family and Social Services Administration says the necessary groundwork was not actually done in time for the summer launch. So the state didn't rule out it in the future. An FSSA spokesperson says students across the state can still access free summer meals at hundreds of locations around the state.
Well, an unapproved car modification that sent this year's runner-up Marcus Ericsson to the back of the standings after inspectors found cars for Marcus Ericsson and his Andretti Global teammate Kyle Kirkwood had changes that could have helped their aerodynamic efficiency. Ericsson will now be credited with a 31st place finish. Kirkwood, who finished 6th, has now been bumped to 32nd place. The two drivers also had to forfeit their prize money and championship points from their original finishes.
Oh, wow. That's
huge.
That's devastating news for those teams and drivers. Well, it was a victory lap last night, of course, for the 500 champ, Alex Palou.
He has been on top of the IndyCar series really all season. After kissing the bricks and then drinking the milk after his first Indy 500 win on Sunday. At the ceremony last night, he got to show off his new jacket, even some new bling to our Rich Nye, who got to chat with him at our victory banquet last night. Palou says that an IndyCar career just isn't an IndyCar career without winning the 500.
Even though I won 1, 2, and 3 championships in IndyCar, my career was amazing. But if it had to end without an Indy 500 win, I wouldn't have considered that as a complete career as an IndyCar driver. So now I would say it's sort of complete. We still want to get more championships and more Indy 500s and more overall wins. But yeah, I think you cannot be gone of IndyCar without an Indy 500 win.
And he now has it. And that win also comes with some big money. Last night, Palou took home his portion and received for $3.8 million from a total purse of more than $20 million. It's the 4th straight year the purse record has been broken. And fans also were in the stands at the race on Sunday can now renew tickets to the race. You have until June 16th to lock in really the best prices. So there are several different ways you can renew or upgrade your seats. We do have all that information for you that you need to know right now at WTHR.com.
Well, turning now to the Fever, and really a blow to the team as they have a game coming up soon.
Yeah, we're getting word that Caitlin Clark out for at least 2 weeks. The superstar guard is dealing with a left quad strain. Head coach Stephanie White told us that Clark mentioned some pain after Saturday's game against the Liberty.
The Fever are back in action against the Washington Mystics tomorrow night at 7:30. That is a game you can watch right here on WTHR, as we are your local TV home for the Fever.
Well, the Eastern Conference Finals continue tonight here in Indy with Game 4.
The Pacers need to bounce back from that loss Sunday against the Knicks. Let's get to Matthew Foltz. He is outside of Gainbridge Fieldhouse this morning ahead of tonight's game. Matthew, how's it looking? I know it's early, it's quiet, but let's get us a preview of what's happening tonight.
Yeah, it's a little quiet right now, but trust me, it's going to be packed here tonight. We know Yes Sir shirts are going to be all flooded out here in the streets, and really that's what it was Sunday as I was out here, you know, watching the games with local fans across the street. There were some Knicks fans as well too, and I gotta admit, when they walked into the building, they were immediately greeted with a crowd of boos. But really, the Pacers, they fell short on Sunday, losing 106-100. They started off strong, up by 20 points at the half, but the Knicks, they just had a solid run in the second half to really take the lead in the fourth quarter. We actually caught up with head coach Rick Carlisle, who believes the team has to be more aggressive this time.
Aggression level's got to be better. Tempo's got to be better. Defense has got to be better. Rebounding's got to be better. You know, this series is each game's going to be different.
Now, tonight's tip-off starts at 8 p.m. here at home, and if you're looking for a ticket, don't worry, there are some still available. In fact, I just checked some of the third-party sites, TickPick, just a few minutes ago. The cheapest ticket right now in the nosebleeds is around $170. The same thing for Ticketmaster resale tickets. So, Julie and Jalea, we really know there's not a bad seat in the house when you're at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse, but again, yes, sirs, we're rooting for Pacers in 5.
All right, and like Carlisle said, it's like it just depends game to game, but we want the winning team tonight. That's what we want to see at the
Show
Fieldhouse.
up tonight. All right. Thanks, Matthew.